Good morning. Imagine if there were a drug that you knew had no side effects and no consequences and no long-term effects, but that could reverse diabetes and kidney disease and heart disease and aging. Well, there is. That drug is food. Food is a medicine that has no long-term side effects, as long as you're choosing the right ones, and that it has the power to reverse all these chronic illnesses that are becoming so much more prevalent as time is moving forward. So I have a great list of 10 specific foods that have the ability to lower blood pressure. So before I even get into that list, I do want to mention that, of course, eating a well-rounded, nutrient-dense, nutrient-diverse diet is the number one. You know, getting good sleep and good physical activity and movement and eating a healthy diet is definitely the number one most important when it comes to reversing all of these illnesses that I just mentioned, like diabetes and heart disease and kidney disease and all of these things. But the specific 10 foods that I'm going to mention today have the ability to dilate your blood vessels, which means that there's more room for blood to flow. So these foods have compounds in them that research has shown can dilate your blood vessels and improve blood circulation. And I also will say that if you are on medication for blood pressure, that does not mean that you can't enjoy these foods. And eventually, if you do change around your diet, improve your nutrient density and nutrient diversity, improve your movement and your sleep and your health, then you can wean yourself off of the medication with your doctor's support. Please don't do this on your own. But these foods, you can consume them even if you already are on a blood pressure medication. And the idea is then to be able to eventually wean yourself off of those medications with the help of your doctor. Okay, so I have a list in front of me so that I don't forget any of those 10, and there is no specific order that I'm going to be listing these in, like number 1 is not more important than number 10. But okay, so the first one is a compound that we may have heard of because people celebrate it. It is called Resveratrol, and that is something that you can get when you drink red wine. So of course everyone loves this one, but the other foods that Resveratrol is also in is berries and grapes and even pistachios. Unfortunately, there is not a ton in red wine, although it gets all the hype. And with the recommendations of really just sticking to 1, maybe 2 glasses of wine if you are a male. For women, it's really just 1 glass in a night. Alcohol does have harmful and damaging effects to our liver. It does entail a detoxification pathway for your body to break down. So I honestly don't recommend drinking too much alcohol. I know I don't want to be the bearer of bad news there, but in order to get a good amount of resveratrol, I would recommend getting it from the foods that I mentioned, like berries and grapes. I have some examples of some of these things here. Blueberries and blackberries and pistachios and grapes are really great options for resveratrol, which can again improve the vasodilation of your blood vessels and improve blood circulation. So I'll start with that one. Number 1 is resveratrol. Number 2 is flax seeds, and you've heard me talk about flax seeds many times before. What I recommend for flax seeds is buying them whole and organic, keeping those whole organic flax seeds in the freezer. And I have this really tiny little handy dandy grinder that I use to grind my whole and organic flax seeds, and then I keep the ground seeds in a little glass container, try to avoid plastic as much as possible, in the refrigerator, and I just have enough to last for a couple of days. Now, the reason that I go through that kind of, long process instead of just buying them already ground is because, or just eating them whole, is because the nutrients that we want to get from the flax seeds, I can absorb them better once the seeds are ground. Now, if we buy them already ground, then it's possible that they've been oxidized by the air and that those compounds are no longer going to function the way we want them to inside of our body. So it's really best to buy them whole and organic, keep them in the freezer, grind them in small batches, and keep the small batches in a glass container in the refrigerator for your use during the week. I recommend getting about 1, maybe up to 2 even tablespoons of flax seeds per day. Not only can that help with your blood circulation, as I already mentioned, but it helps with your digestion. It also provides omega-3 fatty acids, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. That helps with blood circulation and several other factors as well, including your brain health, lowering inflammation, and more. So that is number 2. Number 3, I forgot to get it out of my cabinet, but number 3 is cinnamon. If you actually have the option to buy a type of cinnamon called Ceylon, Ceylon is how you spell that. That is the kind of cinnamon that they actually studied in research to show that if you eat a certain amount of cinnamon per day, so that's a few times, I would keep adding it, maybe to your morning coffee, or to sprinkle on your smoothies or your yogurt or your cereals, or wherever you can find a place for cinnamon, add it, because that is another option to lower your blood pressure, improve your blood circulation. I only mentioned Ceylon because that is the one that the study actually, chose. That's the one they studied in the research. However, I bet that, and this is just my opinion, that there are other cinnamons that will do the same thing. So add cinnamon throughout your day as often as you can to help with your blood circulation. So we already said resveratrol was number 10. Flax seeds was number 9, 8 was cinnamon. We're up to number 7. Number 7 is olive oil. So you may have heard that one of the healthiest diets that have been studied is called the Mediterranean diet, and versus the standard American diet. The standard American diet is one of the most unhealthy diets because it includes high amounts of processed foods and sugar and saturated fats, and it's not very healthy for us. So one of the components of the Mediterranean diet that makes it most healthy, the Mediterranean diet, by the way, is lots more of unprocessed fruits and vegetables, fish, and olive oil. Olive oil is a big part of the Mediterranean diet. I specifically like this one brand called Cassandrinos, and if you want me to give you more information about this brand, just let me know. But there is a list of olive oils that have been tested for their purity and quality. And unfortunately, there are many olive oils that are being sold at the supermarket that are not especially high quality and very pure. So if you want my list, I put it together and I have a really carefully laid out list of the olive oils that passed the test for purity and quality and olive oils that did not pass the test. Let me know and I can send that over to you. That is a good way to choose between healthy and less healthy olive oils. But in general, olive oil is a really healthy part of a good diet and can help lower blood pressure. So we are now up to number 6, counting down. Number 6 is omega-3 fatty acids. I already mentioned that because you do get the precursors for omega-3 fatty acids when you eat seeds, such as flax seeds. Unfortunately, our bodies don't always convert the precursors over to the actual omega-3 in our body. So it is sometimes helpful, it's actually always helpful, to include sources of already formed DHA and those EPA, those unsaturated fatty acids. They're already preformed when you get them from fatty fish like salmon and tuna. If you are not eating those fish twice a week, then I would recommend a supplement. For many people, again, I'm very careful about my supplements because it's always a very individual thing. Some people will want to supplement of fish oil, and the one brand that I really like is called Nordic Naturals. However, again, I'm really careful with supplements, and if you are considering even a fish oil supplement, I would ask me if it's something that, for you as an individual that you would need, because there's always two sides to what a supplement can do. There's always something that you really want it to do, and then sometimes there's side effects that you don't want it to do. So choose carefully and speak with a healthcare professional who really knows how to choose these things. Okay, so number 10 was resveratrol, number 9 was flax seeds, 8 was cinnamon, 7 was olive oil, 6 was omega-3 fatty acids. And now I'm gonna have to move a little faster. I thought I was gonna have tons of time for this. 5 is a tea called Nettle, Nettle, Nettle Tea. I love the brand of teas called Traditional Medicinals. They sell this right at Publix or supermarkets near you. You could also order it online, but Nettle Tea specifically has been tested and shown to reduce blood pressure, again, improving vasodilation and blood circulation. Okay, number 4 is garlic. Love garlic. I put garlic in everything that I cook. You want to be careful not to overcook it. So just warm it up a little bit on the stovetop, but don't overcook it or burn it. And you can even consider using aged garlic extract in your cooking as well. Garlic is a great option to lower blood pressure and improve blood circulation. Okay, 3 more to go. 3 is probably my very favorite one. Number 3 is cacao powder, cacao nibs. I put both of these into my smoothies every single day. Cacao is the part of the dark chocolate. So if you're eating dark chocolate, I love that too. I should have grabbed that out of my refrigerator in my closet. Is dark chocolate that has more than 70% cacao. Again, that has a compound in it that can help with blood circulation. Actually, it's very similar to the compound that is found in green tea, which I didn't mention that, but that's another good one along with the nettle tea is green tea. They both have the same extract or the same compound in it that helps with blood pressure, and it is also the same as number 2 on this list, which is pomegranate. Pomegranate also has that same compound that is in cacao, which is also in green tea, which all help lower blood pressure and improve blood circulation. So pomegranate, you can get it in a powder. You could add it to your smoothies as well, or your teas, or you can eat a pomegranate, eat the arils in the pomegranate. I would try to choose those versus the juice because the juice has a little more sugar in it, but pomegranate is a great option. And we are up to number 1 on this list, which is beetroot powder. So beet, B-E-E-T. Obviously you could eat beets, we cook with beets. I love that. Beetroot powder though, you could add to your smoothies and teas as well as a great way to lower blood pressure and help with blood circulation. So going through that list one more time, number 10 was resveratrol, which you can get in your berries and your grapes and your pistachios. Number 9 was ground flax seeds. Buy them whole and organic and grind them yourself. Number 8 was cinnamon. 7 was olive oil. Ask me if you want a list of the ones that have been tested for their purity and quality. 6 was omega-3 fatty acids. Get that from your fatty fish twice a week. 6 ounces both times or, even more than that, honestly, would really be helpful. And then nettle tea is a great option. Number 4 is garlic. Number 3 is cacao, that chocolate with the higher than 70% cacao. Number 2 was your pomegranate powder, and number 1 was your beetroot powder. And I will just reiterate that you can include these even if you are taking blood pressure medication, and the goal is to eventually be able to wean yourself off of those medications with the help of your doctor. But include these foods along with a very nutrient-dense, nutrient-diverse, high-quality diet. So I hope that was helpful information for you today. And as a reminder, I'm going to be coming back each week with another health condition that we're working on using food as medicine. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.